How do you get festivals to take urban acts, like take a risk with an urban act, given that they don't come necessarily with a massive band?
Yeah, again, it's as a festival promoter, it's easier to get to hear new artists because, you know, somebody sends you a link to SoundCloud, you can hear that music. You don't have to have heard it on the radio, you don't have to have seen the act play live, so it's easier to come across things. You've got to try and gauge whether the audience is going to be interested. Obviously, you know, if people have got stuff up on YouTube, you can see how many people are looking at it, you know, so if it's like Iggy Azalea or you know, somebody like that you've seen picking up a lot of traction, you know, in the States, you think, great, you know, she's worth taking a punt on. I mean,
do you ever make the call based on a song alone? So if you listen to an artist on like SoundCloud, you think, do you know, that's such an amazing song, we'll book 'em.
Sometimes. I mean, I think the first time I heard 212 by Azealia Banks, you know, I thought, shit, we've got to work with her. You know, it's just such a fantastic track. You know, that was the first thing I heard, and you know, I was sucked in because of that. So
and
yeah,
the video came at the same time, so you had an idea of her performance.
Exactly. So, but I think, you know, taking a risk with any kind of act, whatever genre, I think it's pretty much the same. You know, because I think festival, certainly for the Teen Park Festival, and any festival I've been involved in, it's never been just a rock festival, and we've always had urban acts, we've always had electronic acts, you know, so to take a risk with one, you know, we'd be taking a risk with a guitar band as well. So, I mean, there's a new artist called Logic that we're going to, you know, work with at Teen Park soon, you know, so, you know, we're prepared to, you know, to take a punt just as much as, you know, a guitar band. You've got to think, will it work in a, you know, live context, and, you know, if it's something that, you know, sometimes, you know, an artist might have a great track, but it'll just be them on stage, and what they've got to then think about is, well, how did they make that a show? And Azealia was a good example on a recent tour. She spent far more than her fee on, you know, effects like a diamond bra and things like that, but also, you know, just having dancers, having a big screen and having really good effects, so that it wasn't just her rapping with you know, the turntables and the dart and everything. It was a visual performance as well, which, you know, obviously if you're in a band, you've got, you know, the guitars, you've got the bass, drums, you know, everything else. So you probably have to work that bit harder to make a live show. But, you know, there's plenty of DJs now who are kind of leading the way with that. And if you look at the Avicii's, the David Guetta's, Calvin Harris's, you know, they're just guys with decks. But the show looks great, you know, and it's become a live show as well. So that you know, hip-hop artists have always been doing that. You know, people, you know, going back to Ice Cube and Ice-T, you know, they've been, you know, putting on a good live show without having a load of musicians on stage. So you can do it, but you've got to make it a show because it's got to come across as a live performance if you want to go down well in a live environment.